known this. I know that, of course, there are persons living with disabilities, but Roland highlights them in many different ways, and I get to realize that there are people in some very, very, in dire situations, and it's always great to have that support. So we do call on those who can make a difference and give more support to those in need, because anyone can become disabled. Not so, Roland?
Of course, man. I mean, I couldn't have said it better than you. But the first thing I want to discuss, somebody
Yes.
actually, just hold on, people. Yeah, but there are a lot of people all over the place have wars, and I want to highlight this. People ask me to call me, and they ask me to highlight it for them because, well, in this particular area, we have to deal with the Bagatelle area. You know the Bagatelle area for a very long time.
That's in Diego Martin.
Diego Martin.
Right, yeah.
Bagatelle area for a very long time have been suffering for water. People have to set up late in the night. What the person told me here, right? They said that they spoke to somebody from Wassa because I understand. Hi. Yeah, because I understand somewhere down there.
Yeah.
There's some substation or something like that. There's some substation or something like that. That the washerman comes, I think every morning or something like that, or ever so often, to lock off the water and turn on the water and that kind of thing.
Right. So they got like a water scheduling system. All right.
Well, they have that. And they have that for many a year. I'm not sure for how many years.
Okay.
But many a year. And I remember somebody told me they were speaking to somebody from Wassa at the time. And what the person told them, if not that Diego Martin do have water, because common sense will tell you, especially if you study geography like me, I mean, the common sense will tell you, Diego Martin is a valley, so Diego Martin not supposed to be without water. Period. Maybe if you check most of the country, Diego Martin is a valley. If you flew overhead in a helicopter or something like that, it's a valley.
Well, yeah.
And Diego Martin is replete with streams, with rivers and streams.
Yeah.
Especially if you go down in the Blue Basin area and those kind of areas. Up in the forest, I used to live in United Forest. We used to go up in the stream and in United Forest and bathe in the streams.
There's an abundant supply of water.
That's what I'm saying. So in all the places, well, I mean, Canada's just close to the sea, but places like Marval and Port of Spain, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? It is not so blessed, if you ask me, as Diego Martin, especially that area.
Right.
Bagatelle.
In terms of that
where it is
natural resource.
located. Right. Yes. What I was told is that they were told, at least 2 or 3 people that I spoke to, is that what really happened, the reason why they're having all these problems to access water over so many years is that Wassa or the people in authority divert the water most of the time for the more upscale areas,
okay,
like Westmoreland and these kind of areas, Goodwood Park and that kind of area, those kind of areas. What I'm saying is that over so many years, if that is the case, over all these years, you tell me that Wassa couldn't really probably try to. I mean, I'm not working Wassa. I don't know more so much about the mechanics. But if they could come up with either extra substation or some kind of thing, where these people and them could get a regular supply of water, I think it's very unfair.
It doesn't. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm thinking, we really have a lot of that natural resource, from the springs and the rivers and the waterfalls.
Well, especially Diego Martin. Diego Martin and Pity Valley.
I know this.
I mean, it's blessed in terms of the location and in terms of the topography.
So I mean, I'm not. I can't really speak for in an official capacity. Like someone from Wassa or the authority would be able to.
Yeah, because we don't.
Right.
But we're hoping that probably we might be able to get somebody. But
how does that translate? All the water we have naturally, how does that translate to, like pipe borne? What's the process? Is it that, it would take some funding? Is it that it takes some infrastructure? Why are people in Diego Martin suffering for water?
Well, at least in that particular part of Diego Martin.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Any part of Diego Martin, I would say.
Well, yeah, any part of Diego Martin. Because when you really check it out, when it rains a lot,
yeah,
that Diego Martin River several times a year. You know that.
So you know there's real water coming down.
Real water coming
Okay,
down.
we know this.
And all by KFC, Digo
That's a
Martin,
fact.
KFC, all them areas are usually flood out. Water's all on the highways, all these kind of things, whatever. And that's what I'm saying is, Digo Martin area, Digo Martin Pity Valley area, especially, even Foros area,
Yes.
should hardly be ever out of water. If it won't places, that should always have a regular supply of water.
Should be Digo
Should
Martin.
be that because it's in the valley.
Yeah.
But, all right, so, as I'm saying, I want to say that hopefully, probably we might be able to try and get some kind of, get onto somebody in Wassa to get on to find out, if that is true. And I have any doubt, I have no doubt that probably, I'm reliably informed by people who lived there many years. I spoke to someone before I even come in the studio here, right? Before I came into the studio, I was taking notes, right? And this is what the person told me. The person said, the Tuesdays and Saturdays, water come at midnight, but they have not a guarantee. So they have no guarantee.
Right.
Midnight, now they have to set up in the night, because midnight they will get some water on a Tuesday and a Saturday. But that is not a guarantee. So which means they don't always get it, even though they set up midnight.
Yes.
Sometimes water might come, it might not come.
Right. I got you. Oh, no,
but-
Roland, we have a call coming in. We're
Yes,
asking
hello.
for those to call.
Of course.
So let's take this one. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Alex.
Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon, Roland.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
First to begin with, Wassa has a restructured full system, right?
I was thinking that.
For anybody to be able to get a change in supply, advance in supply, or new supplies, or tackle the old problems. Wassa owing millions and millions of dollars, even to Tobago, all these suppliers, all these people, all kind of things. So nothing going to change unless my good brother, Mr. Paderat, restructure the whole system. Then it will change. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, while your apply is good, and, but I don't see any changes right now unless the present government restructure what itself. Right?
All right. No, I kind of figured that too, which is true. So even though there is natural water, let's say coming off the mountain or, flowing on the streams or wherever, or even when the rain comes down, it still can't be, set into the taps or just like that.
I have another perspective on that, but however, we have to go for the news.
Yes.
So we just continue the conversation after we come
All
back.
right, no problem. We'll take a little break here first. And if you need data on the go, get a preloaded SIM card for as low as $40. Available at any store that you see a Digicel sign on the outside. Spot the Digicel sign, get a new number, preloaded data, and more. All right, so let's take this break, but stay tuned. The news is on the way right here on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today, exclusively on TTT.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today, exclusively on TTT.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today, exclusively on TTT.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today, exclusively on TTT.
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like
Good morning,
the
Trinidad
richest
and
man
Tobago
in
and the world.
Babylon.
I'm Ramala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today. Exclusively on TTT.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Vermala Balkaran. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago today. Let's take a look at what's trending this morning.
Every morning in Trinidad and Tobago, a new conversation begins. And right here, we take that conversation further, speaking with the stakeholders and voices behind the stories. From news and lifestyle to culture, health, and entertainment, we bring you the topics that matter most as you start your day. Join us weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. Watch on TTT or join the conversation from anywhere on your smart device at TNT Today Show, Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Inspires everybody. I mean, say, who that song would really inspire to? Real nice. It's a nice melody, everything,
I love
lyrics.
It. Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Everything. That's who? That's Egyptian?
No, that's Chronics from
Chronics,
out in
Chronics,
Jamaica.
Chronics. Yes.
You know, you can always tell when an artist is real. You know, you feel it. You feel it in the music. You know, hey, this guy really has good intentions.
The emotions and that kind of thing.
Yeah, real positive.
And it comes out in his voice.
It does, of course it does.
I know, people like him, Bob Marley, all these other people, Peter Tosh, you know, these. I mean, that's the reason why these people create gems, you know, that tend to last for many a year.
Correct. Well, they're messengers, you know. You know, I like to think of a musician as
you bring to mind
a vessel.
Yeah, you bring to mind too Garnet Silk, the late Garnet Silk.
Wow, you know, I was at Garnet Silk's final concert.
You serious?
That it was
something like about 60,000
in
people
Trinidad. Yeah. That was at the
stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say Gene Pierre, the stadium, and I can't remember the other artists.
I remember the concert. I mean, I wasn't there, but I remember the concert.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
According to the newspaper, this was something like about 60,000 people.
It was huge. I can't remember the other acts, but I do remember Garnet Silk, and his performance was amazing. I think Sizzler was there too for that show. I vaguely remember, but
Sizzler would have now come out.
I think it was. Was it?
If he was there,
I do remember Garnet. His performance.
Garnet was big. He was prominent.
Yeah. That was amazing. And then we heard of his passing, and I was like, what? You know, it was like at his last concert.
And again, And not too long after his last concert.
Yeah. It was a
that was just
couple
like
weeks.
about after.
Yeah, sometime after. Shortly after.
And once again, too, I want to use that to bring people in. I always like to let people know that you never know what
go.
would become of you.
There you go.
The day you hear, and tomorrow you're dead.
So try and live good, and try and live.
Yeah.
Enjoy your life.
Nobody better than nobody.
Don't stress out now.
Don't feel you better than nobody.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can get the biggest mansion. Just yesterday I was telling somebody that. I said, all right, you might feel better than somebody, all the money you have, you're driving big Mercedes Benz, you have your big mansions, you have your 15 companies. I said, well, what? I said, we live in a earthquake zone. Like, people tend to forget that.
Yeah.
And you remember in Haiti?
Anything can happen.
In Haiti, just about a couple of, 2-3 seconds, and 200 and something thousand people died in an instant. And we live in an earthquake zone.
There you go.
So it just shows, it reminds me of the song, at the end of the day, we are just dust in the wind.
Oh, that's a
Remember
big
that
one
song?
from Kansas, yeah.
Kansas.
You know your music, man.
Of course,
Yeah.
I always love music, and I grew up in music. I go from way back. I grew from way back in the 20s, come forward.
Yeah.
Jazz, swing, all those
I
kind of
appreciate all genres of music, and people say, "Well, Alex, you look like you're a rock man. You're
things. The
like rock."
Miller, the Chick Webb,
I say, man, listen to
Count
everything on
Basie's,
any given day.
Cab Calloway's, all
Yeah,
these kind of guys.
I can be
grew up.
listening to smooth jazz and blues. I can be listening to opera. I can listen to Hindu mantras, rock, reggae, everything. It just flows. Whatever I feel like listening to, I listen to it.
The same thing with me too. Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my soca. I would push my soca.
Yeah.
That's my
Rap
kind of
so is
music.
my thing. I love my rap.
Rap so.
People who know me know that I'm a rap so.
Well, all of that. That's
You
the
know?
soca across the border.
But everything,
Yeah.
music
Rap so, brother
is
resistance.
music.
Brother resistance passed on.
I'm not, biased to any one genre of music. Once it flows and I can connect with it, I listen to it.
Yeah. Same thing with me. But I will push my local music because
Yeah.
I am local.
We supporting local.
Of course.
Yeah. But back to what the caller was saying about,
Yes.
all the infrastructure that needs to be put in place and what he says, the money that Wasa is owing companies and whatnot.
But I agree with him to some extent. Huh?
Yeah.
He knows what he's saying because, generally speaking, Wasa have an
But
infrastructure
has
problem
been in the news. Okay.
for many a year.
Yeah.
But the main problem here with this particular area is not that they don't have any water. The water, according to what the information I have, and they were told that by people working Wasa,
Okay.
is that the water is diverted to places like Westmoreland and Goodwood Park.
Or in the West.
Because these upscale, these are very rich people, multi-millionaires and this kind of, so you can't leave them without water.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, if that is true, then that is very unfair.
Oh, yeah, no, that sounds...
Because Westmoreland then can be, you hold on. Based on the topography of the land, as I said, for anybody who did
It
geography.
sounds controversial.
I did geography too
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So valleys and these can then Digo Martin is a big valley.
Right.
Westmore-
Yeah, of course.
Westmoreland is not a valley.
No, it's part of the West, but it's not
It's part of
really
the West,
in
what I'm saying.
the valley area,
All right,
which is
so-
like Diego Martin West
All right.
Valley,
So
pretty valley.
a valley is naturally a catchment area for water.
Great, granted.
You cannot deny that.
Okay, all right.
And that's the reason why you
Because
always
there's
see
real rain falling in the valley.
right, so Valley Digo Martin area, especially down that area there.
Yes.
The Bagatelle area, the Blue Basin area, a lot of the water, most of the water will come down in that area first and then flow down to any other area, whether it's forest, whatever. And that's the reason why you see the big river that you see normally flows out to the
Right.
sea.
And that's a huge one.
Yeah, they're a very huge river. And it very often overflow, probably about 4, 5, 6, 7 times a year, whenever it rains heavily. And that's what I'm saying, if you look at that, if Westmoreland have water almost every day, if not every day, same thing with Goodwood Park and all these upscale areas. But what I'm saying is it is unjust to be denying people who lives in the area for so long that they only gain water for sure at least one day, which is a Friday according to the person. Friday for sure. And then Tuesday and Saturdays, they have to set up until midnight for water that is not guaranteed.
Okay.
I mean, what kind of life is that?
Yeah, to me it doesn't sound right, but I can't say that's what's going on. I
You
don't know.
can't say that is what's going on.
Yeah.
But then something is wrong. Something is definitely
well,
wrong
yeah,
based
yeah.
on based on the geography of the land,
That I can agree with.
something is definitely wrong. And I just like to make appeal to Wasso, anybody who's listening. I mean, even though it feels like you have to create an extra substation or something, I think, or whatever, I'm just hoping that people down in the area will be able to get water. Because I was watching an interview with this guy, Andy Williams.
Yes.
And that was a very nice interview. I laughed my head off.
Yeah.
The way Andy speaks now. I know. And he's been interviewed. I mean, thanks for Shabadi, my good friend Shabadi.
Yes, I was here as well.
Oh, you was here? All right. Yeah, you would have been here. And the thing is, that you would have heard him say, when he was talking about when he was young, the amount of water he would have to tote
Yes.
and the barrel.
Yes.
So
he
this
did say
goes
that.
back a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
they think he's talking when he was smaller.
Yeah.
So it's mean this situation have existed for
Yes.
for decades.
Yes.
And it just me, it carries back my mind to that now.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
All right.
So, people, for the time being, just want to introduce a new segment on Thursday. I mean to say that come like my Friday.
Yes.
So if there's anything probably on a Friday, probably after the news, if there's anything probably, we'll just play some music. Hope that people enjoy it. I'm calling it like a blast from the past.
All right. So what do you want to hear?
Blast from the past. I'll play something like Appreciation from Johnny.
All right. I can appreciate that.
Appreciation from Johnny, people.
Strive to be happy. Relentless search for luxury. In search of peace and happiness, the human mind wouldn't rest. A constant nag within we soul, demanding respect from the world. We get the urge in different form, but luxury is the norm. Money is very essential, but can't buy peace of mind at all. We still like dogs without a bone if we have the money alone. Because appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because importance, if we are drive to live, everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give generously. The feeling has no barrier. Race and class doesn't matter. Once you are alive, you win the game. You do anything to get a good name. Some wealthy men turn to suicide. Can't find food to feed their pride. The aged and crippled in the ring fight to feel like a king. Children become delinquents for lack of love from their parents. That's why appreciation is most important to man. And I know appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important, if we are drive to live, everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give generously. Solution to bad industrial relations. Employees will gladly draw their pay and do the job half the way. When workman feeling unwanted, the working spirit is daunted. He comes on the job and fool around, production going down. Just make him feel significant. You get him do anything you want. A pat on the back is the best move for relations to improve. Because appreciation is on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important, if we are drive to live, everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give generously. Our deepest craving is common. All we need is attention to put us in the happy zone, regardless of what we own. Life is lonely without it. Each one should give a little bit. Do what you want your neighbors do, then life on earth will be true. Take a tip from the scripture. Appreciate one another. Share your love and make the mold for total peace in the world. Appreciation plays on the human mind. Everyone needs some for happiness all the time. Because important, if we are drive to live, everyone's on the hunt. Every man ought to give generously.
Hi everyone, we're Floors WD, and we're excited to welcome you to our brand new location at Val Park Plaza, on the opposite side of the food court. We specialize in SPC vinyl flooring, moldings, and luxury wallpaper, offering a wide range of options to suit your style. Our friendly experts are ready to help you find the perfect solution for your space. For more details, just Google Floors WD and be sure to ask for your free site visit or call us at 251-7668. That's Floors WD at Val Park Plaza. We hope to see you soon.
Honoring the beauty of Indian heritage, TTT invites you to immerse yourself in Desi May as we mark Indian Arrival Month with color, music, and magic of Indian cinema. Throughout May, enjoy your favorite Bollywood hits and timeless classics, from iconic blockbusters to treasured favorites, bringing the heart of India straight to your screen. Tune in every Saturday at 8:35 p.m. and every Sunday from 4 p.m. to experience rich traditions, captivating stories, and unforgettable characters that continue to inspire generations. Plus, watch, text, and get rewarded for our exciting viewer promotion. Desi May, celebrating Indian Arrival Month, exclusively on TTT.
And get a preloaded data SIM, preloaded SIM card for as low as $40. You get that data. Anywhere you see a Digicel sign on the outside, spot the sign, get a new number, and in the store you'll get your preloaded data and more. That's from Digicel, and you can win up to $750 weekly in cash. Yep, Digicel customers text the word SPIN to 8181 to enter. Enter right now for the chance to win that weekly cash.
On Sunday, 31st of May 2026, treat yourself to something truly special. Brunch on the Mount. Join us at the Serene Seminary of Mount St. Benedict, where your morning begins with Holy Mass at 5:15 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. Then enjoy a delightful breakfast served from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. with a wide variety of delicious options, light entertainment, and exciting door prizes, all for just $175. It's the perfect way to relax, reconnect, and enjoy a beautiful morning with friends and family. Mount St. Benedict, 31st of May 2026. Brunch on the Mount. Come for the peace, stay for the experience.
Lovely. And what an experience indeed. Roland?
I tell you, man, that tune is the appreciation. It's so nice when you hear tunes with those kind of positive lyrics. And I do miss those kind of calypsos. I mean, calypso now, most of them.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world.
Kind of thing,
I'm not into the politics. I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah. And the one I'm saying, the calypsos back then.
Or religion
it
and
just
race and all those sorts of
Yeah.
I
it wasn't just on
don't
politics.
those, yeah.
You see, appreciation.
Yeah.
And it is very, it's just like how they call them, sang progress. And, well, I mean, every Thursday from now on, people, my segment, I told you just now, somebody give me that name, a blast from the past. Blast from the past.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, because I was telling the person that I say, I want to start probably, people Friday, this come like my Friday is the last day of the week for me. Right? And I mean, they say, whether we're different label or not, we all like we music too. I mean, they say, not even, a lot of people don't do, I used to go Soca Monarch and all these kind of things. I used to miss it. I mean, Soca Monarch, Brass, all these kind of plays. All these kind of things, custom fet, all these kind of things. You see? So I mean, I say all of that too.
Yes.
Don't feel because somebody have a disability or that kind of thing.
You
I just try to move away people from that. They feel, all right, because you have a disability, you need to talk about disability, or you have to talk about sickness, or you have to talk about that. You know what I mean? I mean, all the disability encompasses all that. All these things encompasses, because, you have a life to live, and almost everything that affects.
Correct.
Almost everything that affects the everybody person do affect us. And we have to get people to understand that. You see? So the same thing, I mean, we love music, that kind of thing. So on a Thursday, probably for the last half of the hour or whatever on a Thursday, I mean, chill out, talk, playing of nice little music, to inspire you, everything might entertain you, that kind of thing. So they're saying, Johnny King, when he really left in that shoot, appreciation, it is so true. Because without appreciation, people wouldn't feel to do anything,
Yeah, you're right.
Have you told you, workers like to feel appreciated?
Everyone, appreciation. Well, first of all, you have to love yourself, and you have to be able to give yourself those affirmations, because that comes like showing yourself some self-appreciation.
Precisely.
You
see, I like the part where you mentioned, a pat on the back is the best move.
Yeah.
In order for relation to improve,
yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah.
You see. Because even though if you're getting paid and you find your you find your boss is treating you like a dog,
right?
Although he doesn't care for you, but then you wouldn't be inspired
Correct.
to do your work.
Correct.
Even if you're getting paid for it.
There's no incentive aside from the pay.
Mm-hmm.
You want to feel happy coming to work.
So I mean, Johnny King was really on cue there, right? Even within your family. I mean, your husband and wife, your children, that kind of thing. And if the wife not feeling appreciated, all the work she's doing, the washing, the cooking, this and that and that.
Yeah.
And that is real in many relationships. Huh?
But hey, listen, not just the wife, sometimes the husband.
Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah,
vice
you're
versa.
doing everything. Aside from the bills, you're doing everything. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're washing. Yeah. And what's really going on here? You just,
in the case of the husband,
chilling.
He's going to work. He's working hard, that kind of thing. And when he comes home and he's looking for food, you ain't cook yet?
He has to cook it himself. How he plays looking so? Let me pass a little mop, and then I'm doing everything.
Well,
I better quiet. It's sounding like me now. So let me keep quiet.
You sell it out yourself. You sell out yourself. You put it there.
Okay, that was my situation.
You're putting your business out in the street.
Yeah, I spoil women. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Yeah. My granny brought me. She raised me up.
Oh, your granny.
She raised me, right, with values, discipline, right? Knowing how to do things to be self-sufficient.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so glad she did. So I know, rest her soul, I know how to do these things, right? But you see, when you could do things,
And if you don't mind, I'm asking,
Yeah, sure.
what become of your parents, your mother, you can mention,
right,
your granny,
right. Well, all my grandparents are deceased. They're all deceased. My grandparents on my dad's side, grandparents on my mom's side. My parents are still alive,
all right.
Yeah, but I was raised
You more grew up by your grandparents.
by my paternal grandmother. That's my dad's mom.
Well, but she did a good job.
She did a great job, man. I'm
great
so happy. Yeah. No, I'm serious, because she
Of course.
introduced me to music.
Oh.
Right? So she is the one, she started me off in piano lessons.
Oh,
Right.
all right.
I did karate. There was Bible class.
She made sure her grandchild was involved in
and
almost
and
every
she would
aspect.
carry me,
Right.
So the music, I never wanted to do music. And I tell people this story all the
You
time.
serious?
I didn't want to. Because to me it was boring. I was like, I gotta go and sit down and learn to play the piano. But fast forward a couple of months, I started to get into it. After about a year, I was like, hey, boy, I can actually play a song, And I did music festival. I did all my music exams, and I started to get really good at it. And then fast forward to a few years ago when I picked up the guitar, I already had that level of
Grown in, grown in.
I had that level of education in terms of music. So I had all the groundwork was done. I was able to read music and understand it. So learning to play another instrument was just to learn the instrument.
But for me, probably the way how they go about it in schools, teaching children.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say school, but the textbook kind of thing. It's kind
Yeah.
of boring, I don't know if that was your experience.
Well,
For me, it is easier for somebody, from my perspective, and I
Yeah.
guess most people's perspective, children like to be able to know that,
they like the hands-on approach.
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That this kind of thing where they're giving them books, and learn beat,
Yeah.
and learn this,
No,
and
but
learn
what
that.
I
and then
realized,
something doing that for quite a while,
Yeah.
and they're not even getting to touch the piano.
right?
Even though the piano there,
no.
that to me will be kind of boring for them.
You gotta balance it off. You have to balance
that's
it
what
off.
I'm saying. Because
Like-
children,
Yeah.
they're very kind of like hands-on and
yeah,
they're very
yeah,
tactile.
especially these days.
So especially when you're like 13, 14 years. And one thing I hated, this poo-poo, I never like recorders.
Yeah, or the recorders. I don't know what is the use of a recorder.
But what I'm saying,
But I
to
did.
me, a piano,
I did learn to play a few songs
piano,
on
because
recorder.
the old pianos, it's
Yeah.
probably the best instrument you could learn to play.
Well, they call it the
if you're
mother
learning
instrument.
music,
Yeah, you gotta learn
if
the
you're learning
piano.
music.
Yeah.
Because you remember it have like the treble, like they had the bass going
Yeah.
down.
I'll
the
tell you
treble.
something.
Uh-huh.
Learning to play an instrument, especially the piano being the mother instrument, is very important. The
This is what I'm
theory,
saying.
the theory
Yes,
is
well, this is
just
what I'm
as
saying.
important.
Yes.
But there must be a balance. So you can't. I wouldn't recommend
remember the
having a child do this theory like for 2-3 weeks,
But this one
and then a
saying-
little piece. No, every
this
day
one saying-
you have to learn to play.
And to
scale
me,
or two.
yes, and to me that is what turns off children
Yeah.
a lot from in
Well,
terms
it
of
has to do with the teacher.
theory part. Yes, I won't say.
Yeah.
Well, even in the government schools, they tend to teach music like that. I don't know if all the schools.
Oh, okay.
But at least in my first,
Or, is it that they're lacking resources?
Yeah,
I guess they don't have a piano or keyboard.
No,
or something?
no, in my case, I had a piano there.
But you couldn't play it.
Not I can play it. I learned to play piano otherwise.
Yeah.
Not really in
Yeah.
school. Because remember, I grew up around a guy, Panchuna. So by
Right.
the time I was like 6, 7 years old, I was playing tenor pan, this, that.
Okay. Okay.
Right next door, come like my big brother.
Yeah.
A well-known
All
tuner
right.
by the name of Beam. Some people know him as Funny Boy in Carnage.
Okay.
Come we told you from Carnage.
Yeah.
And he had been tuning pan for donkey years.
Okay.
For a lot of bands and that kind
So
of
you
thing.
were exposed to that.
Mm-hmm.
Music is life changing.
Music of
once
life,
learn to
me.
play
And what I'm
music,
saying for
it's
people,
amazing.
listening, it's always easier for your children to learn to play a keyboard, before they move on to other instruments. To me, because
Yeah.
remember the musical stuff, it is kind of like a line to the keyboard.
That's why they call the
So you
piano
know
the
from what in
mother
middle
instrument.
C. Yes, that's right. So you know from what in middle C, E, F, G, go up, whatever the case might be, and go down to the bass.
Correct.
Right, people?
Correct.
So I love this conversation, but we have come to the end of the program.
For today and this week.
Nice conversation for the day and this week.
Yeah, it was inspiring, and I'm
Very
thank you.
inspiring.
Oh, thank you for being here as well, Roland.
Yeah, and thanks very much for the interesting conversation as always.
You are welcome.
All right, people, so for those of you who are listening, thanks for being here with us. And until next week, Monday, you just do have a beautiful afternoon.